I completely forgot why I was going to react to this video.
I was wondering why you're just sitting here. I wondered what it was.
I completely forgot why I was going to react to this video, but maybe if I retrace my steps into how I even ended up on this channel, it'll help.
Okay.
So it was shown to me as I was browsing the homepage, just trying to be inspired, I guess. Mm-hmm. And this page that actually we're looking at here is the Nomadic Movement. And I'm trying to remember which. Oh, it was this one. She's moving in. New girl on the farm. And the thumbnail, it shows the I don't know anything about this channel, so I'm going to assume it's the wife, the mom, the wife, and the dad, the father, the husband, and the kid there, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's this new girl, the silhouette, blacked out silhouette, white outline, you know, typical YouTube thumbnail, the Stradman style. New car.
Yeah.
You know, obviously it's the shape of a Lamborghini, but what Lamborghini is it? And it says new girl. So she's moving in. And obviously, based on the look on the center focal point of this thumbnail, you know, it's shocking, you know, and potentially maybe not good.
And then the shape of the silhouette gives it that sex appeal kind of thing. So it's not like, you know, a grandma, obviously, and it's not another child, obviously. It's designed to look like.
And so, honestly, I was intrigued because I knew from this thumbnail that it shouldn't be too expected. Like, it shouldn't be expected that it's going to be a controversial new girl.
So what you're saying, it shouldn't be expected that it's a new sister wife or something like that, because that whole polyamorous polygamy thing is going on.
The thing is like it almost should be expected that it's not going to be what should be expected, which is to be expected.
Yes, which then makes you go, there's no point in clicking on this. There's not going to be anything, and you just keep going.
Like you really are only watching. You're really only gaining new subscribers, at least, I mean, viewers like myself, out of curiosity to see how you're going to spin this tale versus being actually interested. Or if you do, they'll rope you in with something else and maybe you'll stick around. But for instance, like the Stradman, I already know his game, you know, but he never really disappoints in any of his videos.
No, so here's the thing. I like cars, so I would click on his videos. I don't really care about, I'm not really interested in a family that brings in a third person. So for me, this video, I wouldn't do it. A lot of guys might, because I might be like, what's the trick? How did they do this?
So
how did they convince her?
I think maybe the main reason why I even paid attention to it was because I wanted to see how I think that's what it was. I wanted to see what it was going to be and how they did it.
To where it didn't piss off the viewer?
Yes.
I knew you were going to say that. Okay.
That's what I want to know because yesterday we did a live stream on another channel and the title and thumbnail triggered some. And it's because they didn't understand it.
And they didn't bother to listen to the first minute of the video. They
interpreted it incorrectly and wrong, which is ultimately the way that I wanted it to be interpreted. But there was two ways of looking at it.
Yeah.
And the dark side is the side I expected everyone to look at it from, which is the side that typically gets the most reach and views and push and recommended and suggested from YouTube to go viral.
So weird, but okay.
And then the light, the resistance, is typically exactly what it means.
The common sense version of it.
Exactly what it means without going that negative route. So I'm like, you know what? I want to see how they pull this off to not, but I take that back. I didn't want to see, I wanted to see what the comments were. I didn't assume they pulled it off. I wanted to see what the comments were. Like, oh my God, you got me, or clickbait, this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. But also the boobs and the cleavage is a focal point.
So you know that their channel is aimed at men, in my opinion.
The boobs and the cleavage are a focal point. I don't know the specific scientific term for photography where like there's literally like this pinpoint that you can create that will draw people's attention to. Like if you wanted to draw a road or you'd have to have that point. And that's where that is, okay?
Yeah.
Right there. Almost kind of off center, because then the new girl kind of takes up a little bit of your attention.
Okay, yeah.
And so I'm intrigued, but here's what happens. I hover over. So if I'm on my if I'm on the laptop, I'll hover over the thumbnail to see what preview YouTube gives me. If it's going to show me, YouTube's going to provide the preview of the most risque part of the video.
Yes, every single time.
So I'm like, all right. So I hover over that, and they're in the bathroom, right? And she's got a hat on, and she's obviously nowhere near the same.
And that's the risque part.
She's nowhere near the same representation as the thumbnail. She's got a completely different shirt on, which seems to be a very popular shirt that she likes, or it's in another thumbnail. And it's just that's not it. So I'm like, YouTube is like, that's not it. YouTube's telling me the thumbnail, that's not it. It's what YouTube's telling me, right? Yeah. But then I'm like, I want to get a better understanding of what I'm about to get myself into. So I'm looking. What?
What's interesting is you just hovered over and you said that's not it because the inside the video doesn't go with the thumbnail, which is why all of my thumbnails are pulled from my video. I'm
not saying it doesn't go with it. I'm just saying that's not it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that this video is more about something else than that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's not in the video.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this video, as far as YouTube goes and the comments go and the algorithm and the viewer, everything, that's not it.
Gotcha.
That's just what they chose to try to get clicks, which if potentially,
according to the views, it worked.
Well, they got 389,000 subscribers. So it worked well. It worked as to be expected, somewhat a little bit better than normal. But I'd be willing to bet that if they actually built this video for what it really is, or titled and thumbnailed this video for what it really is, based on what YouTube shows you in the preview, it probably would have exploded. Because they tried to trick you into making you want to click and be intrigued, potentially for the dark side. And YouTube's preview is telling me
bathroom renovation. That's what it looks like to me.
That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, if you would have titled and thumbnailed this from the position and angle of connecting and aligning with what YouTube thinks your video is actually about, it might have done better. But the only way to actually do that is to really kind of upload the video twice.
Yeah.
On a separate channel. Wait.
Because people are patient.
To see what preview YouTube gives you. Because you can't get that before. But
it'll give you a different preview based on different channels, I think. I think that if you were to upload this video on a same video on a channel that's all about how to dance on poles, it would give you a completely different preview.
You're right. So this is where some creators actually will release these videos unlisted to certain people and see what they say.
Which makes sense.
And see what they say. Get an honest critique of what is this video about. And
that'd be a great thing for channel members to, that first look, how they say do
so
a
you
sneak
set
peek,
the video as a members only.
As a members only, and you say, I'm trying to figure out how to title this. What do you pull from this video? What is this video about to you? Because then...
No, you don't do that. You don't do that.
No.
You just send it out like super blank, super plain.
And say nothing. Because they'll give you a feedback.
And you have to listen to the comments.
But then also it gives the members a reason to sign up because they get it first. And it makes them feel better because they are helping you decide what direction that video is.
And
pretty smart.
No, it is actually. We need to try that. And
you don't thumbnail it, you don't title it, you just put it out there.
Members only videos do not get previews.
No, they can't get previews.
They don't get previews.
You can see the thumbnail and stuff, but you can't get previews for it.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you can't even backdoor it.
Nope.
To see what YouTube would say, because YouTube doesn't care, because it's going to your members and they're paying to watch it.
Yep.
Oh, the joys of creating content on YouTube. We need to try that. We need to send some videos out to you. You do. You have way more members, so send it out and see what they say.
Okay.
So I'm doing a little bit more recon research on the channel, the Nomadic Movement, and they look familiar. Okay, they look like
every other couple out there.
They
who
look
has
like
lives on a homestead.
Jake and something.
I don't know any of their names. I don't watch them.
Off grid with Jake
And Nicole.
Oh, is it Jake and Nicole? Okay.
That's the only reason why I know. I don't know off the top of my head. I've seen them pop up.
You know, it looks like it's
like the same thing. I mean, it's a female who the thumbnails are predominantly based on her shape and silhouette and.
Now in their videos, she typically does deliver on
the thumbnail.
Yeah. So there's going to be a scene where she's probably naked, and it's a back view or side view or obstructed view getting into a tub or something.
Yeah.
And
it's like a soft B channel. But more like a C. It's not even a B.
And, you know, kind of looks like this one a little bit.
No, that one's a
little less, a little more. This one's a little more conservative. More
family friendly.
This one's a little bit more conservative.
Not that the others aren't family friendly. I don't want to put it out there like that. But this one is a little more geared towards not pulling in men. This one I think is geared towards pulling in people.
But the thing is, it's a similar style to me, right? Yeah. It's a similar style, right? Mm-hmm. And it looks familiar, which is this is the part of the appeal of creating these thumbnails. It's like, look, if I'm going to start a channel brand new from scratch, look familiar.
Yeah.
That way people will click on it and think that they have, you know, this is where they're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, no, this is completely new, but hang on. I like this.
What I've realized is if you're going to live off grid, you have to have long brown hair that's always down.
If you're going to live off grid.
Foot off of mine because I was tired of looking like everybody else on there.
If you're going to live off grid and you're going to build a sustainable, you know, living solution, you have to always have your hair done and blow dried and have makeup on and, you know.
Clean, tight fitting, low cut clothing.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how I do yard work. I'm just saying.
You know? So I'm scrolling.
I'm lucky my hair is down right now. Normally this thing's in a bun.
I'm scrolling here and I'm just trying to see some patterns. And honestly, the only pattern I see is that they're pretty consistent on views. They're pretty consistent on views between like 90 to 130-ish thousand views. You know, very respectable. The intervals are, you know, 2 to 3 times a week, maybe once a week. So not bad at all, really. And honestly, when you get into the video, they put a lot of effort into the video. So.
And they're smart with the thumbnails because they know what works. They know what their audience is, what their audience wants to click on. And
I mean, it works, but I don't know if I'd say they know what works, because if they knew what worked, they would be getting more views.
Okay.
And this is based on other channels who get more views because they really know what their video's about. Mm-hmm. And they deliver that and they package it that way to be more effective.
Yeah.
I don't see a tremendous amount of growth here because they keep doing what has worked versus doing what should be done or needs to be done to really get people interested. Because honestly, I'm not interested. I was only curious as a creator to understand the psychological aspect behind the viewer and the click and the comments. But what they have here, there's something in this video that did interest me. And if they packaged it better, they would probably be more likely to reach the people that are actually interested in what the video's about.
That may be my issue because my main channel, my thumbnails are screenshots from my video and I throw a word or two on it because I don't want it to be taken wrong.
Yeah, but the words you choose is going to ultimately determine who's going to watch.
True. Because they don't have words in their thumbnails. They're basing it off of the visual. I'm basing it off of like a combination.
The facial expression in your thumbnail, the words you choose to put on your thumbnail, your title, and or if your thumbnail happens to be in a place, and then that place tells us part of the story of the thumbnail.
True.
But honestly, I just think that this video got 130,000 views in 7 days, and it could have gotten way more if it was more about what the video's about than trying to leverage the idea of a scantily clad scandal of this family's relationship.
You know what's interesting to me? So when you hovered and it showed a little preview, my first thought was she's moving in, new girl on the farm. It's going to be like a piece of equipment or something that they've named a female.
Yeah, I was thinking a cat. A cow.
A cow or
Honestly, I was
something
thinking
like
like an animal
Yeah.
was coming.
Yeah.
But I thought that would be a real stretch since
Yeah.
they use a person's
And that would
silhouette.
get a lot of clickbait.
I thought that would be a real stretch since they use a person's silhouette.
Yeah.
The thumbnails are amazing. You know, they've got a great lens, probably extremely
I really like that
low f-stop, you know, great bokeh, high contrast. They're doing everything right.
Yeah.
Except for...
It telling the story of what's actually in the video.
Well, I take that back now because this one here says an incredible transformation. And it literally shows her standing there in the bathroom, and it kind of makes sense. But, I mean, the views are good, 72,000 views in a day.
Yeah.
What we'll have to do is we'll have to come back in a week and see where that video lands. But I'm trying to see if there's another one that maybe is more... Okay. Our new coffee farm, things are changing. So 81,000 views. So here's the big thing, is the views. I wonder how many new subscribers they got off of that than these other ones. So it's like it's got lower views.
But I bet they got more subs because it is what it says it is. And people are interested in coffee.
Yeah.
So I would say that one probably did very well because it's not an over-the-top thumbnail. It's not something that you have to sit there and try to dissect and pick apart and figure out exactly what it's supposed to be. And it goes with the title.
But then like some of these here is kind of like you really... And I also got to say that...
I'm not a fan of staged thumbnails personally.
I think the coffee farm needed something in the thumbnail that screams coffee.
You mean like the guy on the donkey?
But it doesn't matter. But it doesn't matter. Like even a sign that says new coffee farm.
Or a mug in her hand
because
with coffee in it.
These thumbnails here, to me, let's see if I can move this out of the way. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Those scream, hey men, look at this video, click and watch.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. Get your bottle of lotion ready, okay? So some Jergens. So that's what it screams to me, right? They ain't never gonna read the title.
No.
They're never gonna read the title.
No.
So in this one, if that is the case, and the typical average male is going to come across it, they're not going to know it's about coffee.
Well, here's the thing.
They're not going to know it's about a coffee farm.
With that one, in my opinion, your typical female isn't going to look at it and go, oh, this is for guys.
No one's going to know it's about a coffee farm.
But I understand that, but I'm saying that thumbnail doesn't immediately make me go, I have zero interest in this. Whereas other ones on there, I have zero interest because it's clearly aimed at men. That one is aimed at anybody because I'm seeing the background. I don't even notice her. I notice all the foliage behind her first.
And I don't know that's a coffee farm.
I know. I'm just saying.
So just real quick, another scroll. I sent this in the group. It was kind of funny because this video here says, it's got her standing here in front of this green background of leaves. And she's got her sports bra and yoga pants on, which is obviously the attire you would want to wear when constructing your home off grid. And it says this is a video about failure, which I was very happy that was the title because I would have never known.
So my first thought when I saw it, can they see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so my very first thought when I saw it was, oh, she's saying her panty liner failed because generally that will help give you a smooth transition from place to place. So
I don't know if I can really do that.
I don't think you can. I think you should probably stop. But that's what I figured it was going to be about, the failure of the panty liner based off of the thumbnail.
Yeah, so...
But again, that's a for the men video.
Without the title, men are going to click on it for a particular reason, or 2 or 3. And this video is about failure. Like, is it about failure as a creator, or is it about failure in like what?
Your underwear situation. But here's the thing.
There's no underwear situation there.
Oh no, there's definitely not, unless she hiked it up front and back. But here's the thing.
Maybe that's Photoshop too. You know.
I mean, that's possible. She is a small girl, and that's a whole lot happening.
Very, very.
She's not Khloe Kardashian. If you've ever seen Khloe Kardashian, whoo, man, whole family of mooses. But the thing is what's the plural of moose is moose, right? Anyway, what's interesting is this is a business, and they are running their business to get the views because the views are what pays. So they're doing what is necessary to get the clicks. They probably could give 2 shits if you care what the video is actually about. They just want you to click on it based off of obviously the outside.
No, for sure. I mean, they've got an amazing flow and story line and editing and everything that you should have to, that they'll tell you, the gurus will tell you to have a great YouTube channel, YouTube videos. And the only thing I can say is I hope they got a OnlyFans. I mean, it's just like, because it's a if they're doing that,
you have to assume
missed
there's
opportunity.
more.
It's a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
have to assume there's more in the background.
It's a missed opportunity. And hopefully their CPM and RPM is relatively high and not being lowered based on the potential viewership that could be gained from the thumbnail.
I feel like when you are predominantly a male audience, you're going to have a lower RPM and CPM because generally it's women who are emotional buyers or push to buy things online. So when you have a predominantly male audience who could give two shits about your commercial because they want to get back to the TNA, you're going to have less chance of making sales.
Perhaps, maybe. However,
my thought process.
I've watched a lot of different creators show how much money they've made, and there are certain niche categories and audience groups that typically are going to revolve more so around male viewership because of the conversation being money and finance and investing, stocks, crypto, etc. And they produce tons of money.
But I feel like that's different because that's aimed at men with money, not men with a free hand and a bottle of lotion.
So we're just going to click on this video here real quick. And I'm not going to do the whole
Today,
thing like we did.
We have someone
with,
new moving onto our piece of
Abra
land here
Preach.
on the side of a mountain in Panama. Sweetie.
But we got the intro with the drone shot.
This has always been our dream, to live together with other like-minded people.
And
help each other
this
with the
kind of
little things
alludes
in
to
life.
who
They're
that
like, man, that's a very special looking woman. But that's a guy, right?
But it alludes to the woman that's going to show up, right?
Okay, yeah.
But they don't
Starts
show
off
you.
that way.
But they don't show her. It's like this little teaser that, But they go into this. Now, granted, if I have been watching them all along, I would know what's going on. But I'm coming in here from scratch, and essentially I'd have to go back and binge watch to get caught up. But it literally, it doesn't deliver on the title and thumbnail. Within the first 35 seconds, it doesn't deliver on title and thumbnail.
Visually, it does if you listen to it. The words are telling you what the title and thumbnail are.
No, for sure.
While the visuals are completely 180 degree different.
No, for sure. Absolutely. And they nailed it. 30 seconds of intro distraction to keep the viewer engaged. Look, they're doing it phenomenal. Literally hitting the mark. Okay. Yeah. And then we get into this bathroom renovation, build out, whatever. So, the other thing is, I really enjoy this angle of the camera being so low where you are forced to bend down to come down to the viewer's level to talk to them.
Which sounds real...
I feel like
I don't like the way that sounds.
I feel like
get down to your level from my higher up
I think
spot.
it's supposed to bring this comfortable feel and this warm, inviting feel. But also, I'm just
let me tell you a secret.
I'm a little biased. If I really want you to see down my shirt, I'm gonna bend over. That's what I have a shirt with a hole in it
for a reason.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
But look, hitting the mark. You even got the laser line hitting you in the face for more distraction. This is
genius.
This is textbook, executed. Lots of cuts and edits. Which the other thing is how do you get so much work done living off grid, recording so much and editing? There's no way they can edit.
How do you get so much work done with your hair down? Because it's so friggin' annoying. I've cut a foot off mine and I'm just sitting still and I can't stop doing this because it starts to move and I'm like, you're touching my forehead.
How do you not have thin set in your hair right now? What's going on here? So, but they're really doing it. They're really killing it. They got a great camera. It's obviously not where it needs to be, so we got to move it around. Look, this is perfect. This is great. And they're going to show you how they're going to cut this tile around. It could be a potential problem, but in the end, it works out.
Yeah.
So anyway, then I kind of scrolled through it and noticed they got a kid. So, that kind of helps. And then I saw the cow. So I was like, well, maybe that's the new girl.
The new girl, yeah. She's living life. They gave her 2 suckers.
Yeah.
They're like, we got to keep her real busy and occupied for this video.
So, it's great. They bring in the cooking and, these are all winners. These are all real winners. And I also think at this point in time,
she got no shell in there. Good job.
I think that this is actually at this point, we're 5.5 minutes in, deflected and diverted all the scumbag dudes away. Like they are done.
And because they've forgotten, and everybody else who's still in here has forgotten why they're in here, and they're just watching what's happening.
Oh, no, for sure. Like in the beginning, you start watching them put that towel up.
Yeah.
You watch them put towel. Like,
and you've forgotten they're supposed to be.
I don't want a towel, but if you watch people do towel,
it's interesting. To
or
watch.
if you watch people wrap cars or like certain things, like you know, that one guy, he cuts grass, and you know, there's certain things that'll just lock you in. So either way, the video goes on and on and on, and then at some point, there's
the
a
confessional style.
There's a. I see this part, and I'm kind of intrigued, right? And and so he's doing the pour over coffee. You know, it's like we live this life of a simple life off grid, but yeah, I mean, our hair's done, our makeup's done, and we got, you know, great technology to be able to put the towel in and record these videos, but we got to make pour over coffee.
Well, because pour over tastes better. It's bougier actually than throwing a.
Well, I guess it makes sense if they've got a coffee farm. Okay, yes. I'm gonna give them that. Yes. I'm gonna give them that one. But I did not see this part earlier. But you know, we got an outfit change. We got a tank top on. Like it's maybe some of the guys are still sticking around. You know, maybe some of the guys are gonna show a little skin. I'm surprised she's not tiling this bathroom barefoot. You know, but
you haven't watched the whole video. Anything's possible. There might be a toe in there at some point.
Maybe it's really hot. They don't have AC, so it makes sense to. It's almost like they got a uniform, like they have the same clothes on.
Don't say that, because I get dressed and you don't see me, and then you come out wearing the exact same colors as me. So I'm like, really? This is what we're doing?
Well, everything I have is like literally the same color, so it's like 100% chance.
And I buy a lot of your stuff.
So let's see what he has to say here.
Right now, to make a coffee really, really quickly, because I actually had my first ever conversation with YouTube. We've been making YouTube videos since 2017, so that's 6 years. And never once have I talked to YouTube. Over the grill. Right here is where I'm going to set up shop, right next to my 3 dogs.
So he has a YouTube partner manager.
I don't know how, but this part of the video caught my attention, and I'm like, wait.
It's because he's
This
barefoot.
is different. This is different. His barefoot caught me. He's sitting out here. What is going on here? Like, maybe he's about to say something about analytics or whatever. He's got the computer out, and then the ding went off, and I'm like, hang on. He said he's talking to YouTube. What is he talking to YouTube about? I didn't know.
Daniel.
Nice to meet you, Jordan.
Nice to meet you too. How you doing?
So, and that's the other thing is I have a YouTube partner manager. You have a YouTube partner manager. I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's talking maybe he's talking to his YouTube partner manager. I want to know what he's about to say based on what our partner manager says. So
The representative told me I basically can't put anything from the video in there, so none of that footage is accurate.
yeah, so that's what the partner manager says is you can't share this. So I'm assuming that's that. So
Gotta make it in because it's all confidential. Basically, let me tell you why I wanted to talk to YouTube. I talked to a representative from YouTube, and why I wanted to talk to him was we made a video last week talking a little bit about the protests that are happening here in Panama, and YouTube flagged them as containing violence.
So this is what I was not expecting.
Yeah.
Is what he's saying
hid
here
this
now.
in the middle of this video to get it by everything.
And I'm pretty sure he could have shared it. I'm pretty sure he could have shared it because those conversations, I've never had him say you can't share it.
Yeah.
I've never had that happen. So I'm not saying that what he's saying is incorrect. I'm not saying that what he's saying is a lie. I'm not saying what he's saying is embellished. But what I am saying is I've never had the experience where they said you couldn't share that conversation.
Yeah.
And so he put up a video about a protest, essentially. And this is probably going to fall similar category as fresh and fit. YouTube's got this limited ads violation for violence, and then, you know, graphic law enforcement such as visible injuries, dead bodies with obvious injury or damage in educational or documentary settings such as history learning channel, graphic game violence in thumbnail or early on in the content, raw footage of armed conflict without injuries, the description of graphic details of tragedies, dramatized content displaying severe and shocking injuries, which ultimately just means they're not going to pay ads on it. Like they're not going to monetize the video.
Now, people will ask me in my videos, why aren't you showing these things you're talking about? There you go. That's why I don't show a lot of stuff. And my videos are based on my main channel, me talking through everything with you, not showing you these things. One, because it is over sensationalized on a lot of platforms, showing hurt and all these things. We don't need to see that. It's just going to,
it's already been seen.
It's already been seen. I'd rather have the conversation than the shove it in your face a little bit more.
And for the style of which your content is created, most people are listening to it.
Yeah.
They're not looking at it.
They're not looking at it. But I also don't want to fall into that category where they say, hey, we can see what you're showing them and we don't approve of it, as opposed to we can hear you talking truth and not agreeing with some of the things that have been put out, but we'll let that one slide.
And then sometimes some of the stuff you try to show, you don't even know if it's really real.
Which is another reason why I don't show a lot of stuff, because you can't, there's so many ways to fake things on the internet now that it's unbelievable. And unless I can find a way to prove that it's real,
unless you've recorded it yourself.
Yeah, I'm not going to share it.
And basically suppress them.
So like no ads can play on it. They stripped all the money from it, which then basically means that YouTube doesn't promote it out. And I don't really care that much about the views or.
Then why'd you call?
Yeah.
It is about the views.
So he says he doesn't care. And here's my issue is potentially misinforming the audience and other viewers about how they won't push the video out.
They will definitely still push the video out, especially if they don't have to pay you to push that video out.
So I just, that was a little bit like, I don't want to generalize and then paint YouTube into this corner and this picture of, oh, you know, I'm not going to get any views and I'm not going to get paid for the video, which obviously got a lot of time, effort, and energy put into a video, which is probably similar to this video, which is not entirely about the protests, but it's in it. And ultimately that part brought the video down. Now, I don't know if they've made any changes. I don't know if they've gone in and edited out any clips and used the editor.
Do they have members? No, but they have Patreon. So I wonder if this, because I haven't seen this video that we're watching right now. I wonder if there's well, since we can't get it working on here, it'll be over on Patreon if you guys want to see it, as a way to then push them over there so they still get paid for it. Yeah,
that was kind of like how I saw Nate Black do the other day. And he was like, I don't know why. I mean, this dude is like literally a YouTube guru. He goes, I don't know why, but my comments don't work. So just go to my community post and comment there. It's like, dude, you just turn comments off. You just turn comments off to send people to community posts. Like, I get it. I mean, but I don't know. So they got a Patreon. It looks like, 27 likes a day ago, 44 4 days ago, 50. I mean, they probably got.
If they're getting 50, they probably got 200.
Nah, they probably got more than that. I bet you they got 500.
Totally, because it doesn't show, right?
And so it's.
And they post
417.
They post on there often. I mean, you scrolled, it's only from the second up.
417 patrons. So
333 exclusive posts.
Yeah, the mother load. So, but either way, I mean, I don't know if they made any changes, but Chaos in Panama got 101,000 views. Like, the video after it got 96. The video before it got 114. I don't think YouTube suppressed you for the reasons that you're saying. I just don't think that actually happened.
Yeah.
Money or any of that, but I just wanted to hear what they had to say about suppressing, talking about protests, and flagging protests as violence. Because
again, fresh and fit, they took the route of we didn't do anything wrong. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the video, but odds are there was something in that video that shouldn't have been in that video.
No.
It's not that you made a video about protests. It's the fact that you showed something in that video that, it's like, oh, I made okay. I don't want to get too distracted here.
Too squirrely?
But let's just look here. Their top 3 most viewed, highest performing videos, number 3, our first home water birth, raw and real. And I can tell you guys right now, if you show the wrong thing in that video,
it's done.
You're gonna get flagged.
Yeah.
And you can't say, oh, YouTube doesn't want people showing water births. No.
They don't want you showing the baby coming out your vagina. There's a big difference between a water birth, like showing a water birth and showing a birth.
Yeah. We don't want to see the canal, okay?
No.
because there was no violence. It was shots of people dancing in the street. It was shots of a woman saying, we're desperate and that's why we're protesting.
And if that is true, if that is the case, then a simple appeal should reverse the decision of, limited ads.
Protest is, but so to just immediately flag a protest as something that's violent to me is concerning for someone who spends a lot of their time contributing to this platform.
I would like to point out the fact that it could be not just YouTube, it could be Panama itself. I mean, there's the possibility that the government of Panama, if there is this huge protest thing, they could easily be. It's not like they're stupid. They don't know how to reach out to YouTube and say, "Hey, you're sharing false information." Or
you got to also think one.
Not that they are. I have no idea.
If their channel is actually registered in another country, that could have an impact. But it also isn't YouTube, right? So Fresh and Fit, again, if you haven't seen our reaction to Fresh and Fit, it's before this video. But they didn't lose their channel. They just got demonetized. The Nomadic Movement, the Chaos in Panama video, the video didn't get deleted. It didn't get taken down. There was no strike. They just didn't get monetized.
On that video, yeah.
And ultimately what that meant was that advertisers are not interested in advertising on that video.
Yeah, plain and simple. I mean, as an advertiser, you want to be in a video where people are going to spend money, where the thought process is going to be not one of anger, probably not one of unjust whatever. So there's certain topics that I would think advertisers would want to steer clear from.
And from a strategic standpoint, they'll say to you, you can keep doing it if you want. But will you keep doing it if you're not getting paid for it?
Yeah. And that also changes the whole, well, I do this because I love it. Okay, well then why did you quit doing it when they said they weren't going to pay you for it if you love it so much?
Yeah, like if they don't want it to be out there, then it's like, well, you can make the video, but odds are you probably won't keep making the video because we're not monetizing that content. The advertisers aren't supporting that content, and you'll probably stop.
And it's kind of the answers that you'd expect, basically non-answers. And protests are important. Sharing protests are important. Sharing, I mean, even now, me talking about it, I'm thinking about YouTube doing it again to this video.
Yeah, I mean, tug on the heartstrings of the viewers, but yeah, I mean, I'll stand by this opinion, and I'd be willing to bet that YouTube would probably align with certain protests in certain parts of the country for certain particular groups of people that most everybody won't align with. They'll stand behind that, but so will the advertisers.
Yes,
except for Target, they kind of put their foot in their mouth on that one, but I think it just kind of depends. It's like time and place, right time, right place, or whatever. But there's more to it than just that.
Yeah.
That just concerns me because I think self-censorship is kind of what they're looking to do here. To me, it's not going to censor me. Like, I just want to share my life. I want to share it exactly how it is, the good, the bad, the ugly, the beautiful days, the protests, what it's like living in another country. Welcome to the life of making YouTube videos and trying to solve the wild mystery of YouTube.
Yeah, for sure. So,
I mean, if he's living in the country, he's complaining about with the protest, there's going to be an issue there, I'm sure.
Yeah. So, but that's the thing. So here's my take on it. This is probably going to continue in Panama, in other countries around the world, and on this platform. And this platform knows how much power it holds. And it at some point can say, you can't put out this content and to deliver this message. If you want to share your life. But don't share your life of protests or the part of your life that includes protests and expect to get paid for it. Much like 2020, you couldn't say certain things about certain illnesses and certain remedies and medications. You couldn't talk about it. Like YouTube was like, no. Initially, when Russia invaded Ukraine, you couldn't talk about
that
it
either.
Like they just shut it down. And it's like, you could talk about it, but one, you're not going to get paid for it. And two, we're only going to push the mainstream media channels. We're not going to push small channels. Like you don't get that right to do that. And what they do is all scripted based on an agenda. Okay. So here's the deal. Hit this nomadic movement in Panama. I'm not trying to destroy the video. I'm just giving my honest opinion. I really think they make great videos based on the quality and how this video is put together for 23 minutes. Like, this is a lot to do. Okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of editing.
But Panama, East Palestine, we had, who was after East Palestine?
Well, I was talking about all the oil things.
Yeah, I was thinking about those. I was also thinking about
the Canadian wildfires. That's not really.
You got the whole migrant situation with the border, then New York, and now we're in Maui with wildfire. I was trying to like chronologically put these in order, and an election coming up, and potentially new challenges that will potentially impact the whole world from a health standpoint, particularly with.
So they say.
Yeah. So either way, my guess is that it's going to continue, and each new untouchable topic and event will be added to the list, and eventually you're not going to be able to
talk about anything
that is of any controversy that goes against whoever's running the show at that time.
So what you're saying is you're no longer going to be allowed to have an opinion and voice it.
If it goes against whoever's running the show at that time.
Yeah.
And whoever's running the show at that time is the one who's pouring the dollars in.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Who has gained full control, who has captured all the flags, okay? And you can do it, and you won't get pushed. Okay. Run out of space. You can do it. You won't get pushed. You will be suppressed. You won't make any ad revenue off of it, and eventually they will suffocate you out and make you not want to do it. Sure, you could try to jump ship and go to another platform, but those are also limited. And Rumble is not a great option, and Rumble is actually really a terrible place because they let anything go over there. Rumble is really almost worse than Twitter when it comes to fake news and misinformation. So it's unfortunate, but at the same time, if this is where you choose to come to make your money, this is essentially where you work. This is your job.
So you have to follow the rules of the job, basically, is what it comes down to.
Basically.
Either got to be willing to play the game or find ways to circumvent the game.
Yeah.
Loophole it, if you will.
Yeah.
Or
start your own.
Yeah.
Start your own, create a new movement, get people to jump on board, follow you.
What's the phrase? If you're not going to shit, get off the pot. I think that's kind of what it goes with.
And you can't have any ties and motivation behind any profit and money or revenue from it. Maybe you can find a way to monetize it, but if you're really if that's what you're about, that's what you got to be about. But if what you're about is making money and continuing to grow and build this network and this community of viewers and subscribers and followers, then you might want to stick to that. You might want to stick to that for whatever that may be that aligns with this, because they'll shut you down. They'll shut you down. And
over time, I've learned personally on my main channel how to phrase certain things, how to say certain things without using words. You will notice if you've ever watched my main channel in videos, I will say something and not just look at you, because that's enough sometimes. You don't got to go any farther, because if you go a little bit farther, the transcript can pick it up and YouTube can be like, hey, wait a second.
I think that's also part of the reason why a lot of people don't do their own, make their own videos, voice their own opinions, is because they're afraid of that. They're afraid of getting shut down.
I'm not afraid.
Thank you guys for watching.
I look fear in the face and I laugh. Ha, ha, ha.
I laugh. Ha! Laugh at
Wait,
fear.
did they ever bring a new girl in?
Oh, yeah. Some girl shows up. So somebody shows up. I don't remember who she was. I didn't watch that part of the video.
She's probably just dropping something off and turned around and left.
She showed up. They made a pour over for her. Like they sat there and chatted. I ran out of hard drive space, so my screen recording is done. So if you want to see the new girl that showed up, there's a link in the description. I'll link the video. Again, this is not me trying to bash these folks as creators or people or anything like that. It was an initial critique of how the content was built and the story was told, but ultimately my thoughts and opinions on YouTube and freedom of speech and different platforms and what is likely to happen next and how are you going to work around that situation, basically.
Yes, I agree. Sorry, I'm having a staring contest with a golden doodle.
Max says this video is over.
Did you see them? Maxie Poo.
You see?
He was like, can I eat that? No. You lost my attention.
Thanks for watching. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. We really do appreciate it. And you guys take care, be safe, have a wonderful, fantastic, and an amazing day.
Bye.